Hello, my name is Ken Goodman, creator of the Anxiety Solution series.
And I'm Rihanna. I use the Anxiety Solution series to stop my panic attacks, my constant worrying, and a lot of my stomach issues. And this is John. I drew him and helped create this cartoon to help people who suffer like I did. I remember how horrible my panic attacks were, and I hope this cartoon will give you a better understanding of what to do to stop panic. If I can beat it, anyone can. John did. But let me take you back to the beginning, before he experienced his first panic attack. It all began one night.
A night when he slept very poorly. He tossed and turned much of the night, and in the morning he could barely get out of bed. So he did what most people do when they are exhausted and have to go to work. He drank coffee. 5 cups of coffee. John usually has 2, but he had to make a presentation that day and wanted some energy. His presentations always go very well, but this one did not. He was very anxious and sweat poured from his forehead. After the presentation, he went out to lunch with coworkers and drank more coffee to stay awake. Rather than getting involved in the conversation, John dwelled upon how poorly his presentation went and worried if this would prevent him from getting a promotion. While eating his chicken, he wondered if it was cooked enough. He suddenly did not feel well. He began to sweat. He then experienced something he never experienced before. Racing heart, tightness in his chest, difficulty breathing. He thought he was having a heart attack, but his symptoms subsided when he left the restaurant.
What John had was not a heart attack. It was a panic attack, something I used to get all the time.
A panic attack is a sudden attack of fear when you feel physical symptoms like racing heart, dizziness, jitters, and other uncomfortable and scary bodily sensations. John never told his wife about the attack, and when she suggested they go out for dinner, he insisted on eating at home.
He was afraid of having another panic attack.
At the office the next day, he had difficulty concentrating and worried he would not be able to get his work done. At lunch, his coworkers announced they were all going to a brand new restaurant. His boss told him, "Grab your coat, I'll drive." But John stood there motionless in the doorway. Think about John's situation for a moment. What do you imagine John was thinking as he stood there in the doorway? What do you think he was feeling? And what is your best guess as what he might do? John's thoughts were most likely filled with worries about the uncertainty of going to a restaurant. What if it happens again? What if I have a heart attack? What if they send me to a hospital? What if I'm demoted? This kind of what if thinking is very common for those who suffer with anxiety. While he stood in the doorway, he was most certainly feeling anxiety or fear. Those would be natural feelings associated with what if thinking. And what about his behavior? Well, he declined his boss's invitation and did not join his colleagues for lunch. This is avoidance, and it's the most common behavior associated with anxiety disorders. Thoughts, feelings, and behaviors all impact one another, and in John's case, each made the other worse. His belief that to prevent panic he must avoid restaurants caused anxiety each time he was invited out to eat. The more he avoided restaurants, the greater his fear became, and the greater the fear, the more he avoided restaurants. Due to his fear of panic attacks, John stopped going to restaurants, not only with coworkers, but with his wife and friends as well.
This happened to me too. I sometimes avoided going places because I was afraid of anxiety and panic.
John's fear of restaurants soon generalized to any situation where he could be trapped or would not be able to get out quickly, including elevators, amusement park rides, underground parking, and driving in freeway traffic. John's world became smaller and smaller as he avoided more and more of life, and this was very depressing for John and the people who loved him. How does this story end? Well, happily, of course. John sought out treatment with a cognitive behavioral therapist who helped John change his thoughts and change his behavior. This is what cognitive therapy is all about. John learned what he was doing to perpetuate his anxiety. He learned how to change his thinking as well as skills to calm himself and prevent panic. And most important, he learned how to face his fears and not avoid. This was all done in manageable steps at John's pace.
Now John feels a renewed sense of freedom. He is eating at restaurants, giving speeches, and enjoying his life. just like I am.
Whatever the cause may be, you can learn to overcome panic attacks with the correct help. Here are my best recommendations. You can search for an anxiety specialist at the Anxiety and Depression Association of America website. If you can't find a good therapist in your area, there are two other options. Some therapists are now offering therapy online through secure video conferencing. I would also highly recommend using a self-help program. Individual therapy is usually 50 minutes a week, but a self-help program such as the Anxiety Solution Series can be used daily. The Anxiety Solution Series is a step-by-step audio program that gives you the tools needed to conquer panic, fears, excessive worry, and compulsions. It provides a simple strategy any motivated person can use successfully.
It was extremely helpful. If you're not sure it's possible to get better, watch my video. I'm living proof.
On the Quiet Mind Solutions website, you can watch success story videos of former sufferers and listen to several chapters of the Anxiety Solution Series absolutely free. If you would like to learn more about panic attacks as well as other forms of anxiety, please visit quietmindsolutions.com. Thank you for watching, and please feel free to share this video with others who may benefit.